Hey Yankees fans, today we need to get into something that's been sparking a lot of frustration in the fan base. And honestly, it's the kind of story that makes you question the decisions being made in the organization. We've just received a report about Carlos Rodon, one of the top arms in the Yankees rotation, and the news is troubling, to say the least. This isn't just an ordinary injury update. It's the kind of development that has serious implication for the team's success moving forward and really puts the spotlight on how the coaching staff and medical team handled things last season. Rodon underwent surgery to address issues in his shoulder, and while we all knew he was dealing with something, the severity of the situation is shocking. By the time the Yankees were in the playoffs, he reportedly couldn't even fully straighten his arm. Think about that for a second. You have one of your premier pitchers essentially functioning at a fraction of his capability, and he's being asked to carry the weight of a rotation in the most critical moments of the season. The postseason numbers reflect just how much this affected performance. 8 innings pitched, 9 earned runs, 10 hits, 5 walks, and 8 strikeouts, translating to an earned run average that no team should have to endure from a frontline starter in playoff baseball. And that's where frustration really comes in, because the Yankees were counting on Rodon to be a dominant force, someone who could set the tone on the mound and give the team a chance to compete against the Toronto Blue Jays and other top opponents. Instead, they were left watching as he struggled, clearly in pain, and unable to perform at the level everyone knew he was capable of. From a fan's perspective, this feels like a classic example of mismanagement. You have a player who needs recovery time, and instead of prioritizing long-term health and team success, he was pushed into action prematurely, and the result was predictable. The concept of protecting pitchers, especially those who have proven they can be game changers, is not new. Every team in the league knows that overworking an injured arm or shoulder can have consequences. Yet somehow the Yankees allowed this situation to unfold in a way that left many fans questioning the judgment of both Aaron Boone and the team's medical staff. There's always a balance between wanting to have your best players on the field and protecting them from further injury. And in this case, it seems clear that the balance was missed entirely. Rodon's effort and desire to contribute were undeniable, but sometimes the right decision is letting a player step back and recover fully rather than risking both their future and the immediate chances of postseason success. It's not just Rodon either. The Yankees have had a recurring pattern with pitchers struggling with injuries, and it highlights the need for strategic planning in building a rotation that is both competitive and resilient. The opening day rotation for the upcoming season is shaping up to be complicated, with Rodon projected to return late in April or sometime in May, and Jarrett Cole targeted for May or June. The team is already facing significant gaps at the top of the rotation. Add to that the uncertain status of Clarke Schmidt, who could be sidelined for the start of the season, and you begin to see the challenges the front office and coaching staff are dealing with. The projected starters like Max Fried, Cam Schlittler, Will Warren, and Ryan Yarbrough form a solid backbone, but there are clear concerns about depth and durability. This is where the conversation naturally turns to potential additions and off-season strategy. One of the names frequently mentioned is Tatsuya Amaya, a 27-year-old Japanese right-hander whose talent and consistency have caught the attention of several teams. There's also Michael King, who presents a reliable option to fill the fifth starter role. Securing someone capable of stepping into the rotation immediately, especially with the uncertainty surrounding returning pitchers, is critical for the Yankees' hopes of starting the season strong. The reality is that when healthy, this rotation is terrifying for opposing lineups. Fried has proven he can be an ace. Schlittler continues to develop and add to his repertoire, and Cole is among the best when fully recovered. Rodon has shown he can be a game changer over multiple seasons, and the supporting arms of Will Warren, Luis Heel, and Clarke Schmidt add depth and flexibility. But the key word is healthy. The fan base has seen firsthand what happens when these pitchers are not at full strength, and the lesson is clear. Depth matters, recovery matters, and the management of injuries is as much a part of winning as any trade or signing. Looking ahead to the upcoming season, there's also the question of how the Yankees will manage the transition back to full strength for their top pitchers. The temptation might be to rush them back, to push through early season games to try to gain immediate momentum. But the smarter move is always careful management, structured rehab schedules, and ensuring that when these players return, they can perform at the level expected of them. The pattern of pushing pitchers before they are fully ready is risky and has tangible consequences, as seen in Rodon's postseason struggles. Beyond just filling spots in the rotation, the Yankees need to think about strategic matchups, bullpen support, and overall roster balance to ensure that even when injuries crop up, the team can still compete at a high level. The offseason will be critical for the front office to evaluate options, whether through free agency or trades, and to bring in pitchers who can contribute immediately without risking overexertion. Fans have every right to scrutinize these decisions because, in baseball, one injury or mismanaged player can significantly alter the trajectory of a season. The conversations around Rodon also bring up broader discussions about player treatment and the responsibility teams have to protect their assets. A pitcher like Rodon is irreplaceable in terms of skill and impact, and watching him struggle while being asked to pitch through pain highlights the need for a shift in approach. These situations are complex, but they are also preventable with proactive injury management and thoughtful planning. While the excitement around free agency and potential new signings often dominates headlines, the foundation of any successful season starts with having a healthy, effective rotation. And right now, with the uncertainty surrounding several key pitchers, the Yankees are at crossroads. The choices made in the offseason regarding medical care, rotation depth, and strategic acquisitions will define how competitive the team can be in the early months of the season. For fans, it's a mix of anticipation and concern. The anticipation comes from knowing the talent on the roster, the potential to be dominant when fully healthy, and the chance to see exciting baseball from a team with championship aspirations. The concern is rooted in past experiences, the recent injury mismanagement, and the pressing need for smart decision-making going into 2026. When thinking about the pitching staff as a whole, it's easy to see the high ceiling and the risks associated with players returning from injury. The Yankees need to balance the excitement of what these pitchers can offer with the reality of their current limitations. And that's where the offseason moves become not just interesting, but essential for long-term success. Every fan wants to see their team compete at the highest level. And that means having not just talent, but also strategic foresight in how that talent is deployed, especially when injuries have shown the fragile nature of a pitching staff. As 2026 approaches, the rotation conversation is more than just numbers and names. It's about ensuring the Yankees can compete from day one while protecting the health of players who are critical to the team's future. As we continue breaking down the Yankees' pitching situation for 2026, it's impossible not to focus on the implications of starting the season without key players like Carlos Rodon, Jarrett Cole, and Clark Schmidt. These are not just any pitchers. They are central pieces of the rotation whose absence changes the dynamic of the entire staff. Max Fried will likely step into the role of ace, and while he has the talent and experience to carry the team, the reality is that relying on him to dominate consistently without the support of Rodon and Cole will be a monumental task. Fried has shown flashes of brilliance in the past seasons, proving he could be the leader on the mound. But starting the season knowing that two of your top starters are months away from returning puts pressure not only on him, but also on the young arms like Cam Schlittler and Will Warren. Schlittler, who had a breakout rookie campaign, has all the potential in the world, but development is ongoing, and facing the opening stretch of games with heavy rotation duties will test both his endurance and composure. Will Warren, another promising arm, can contribute, but depth is a concern when the top three of your rotation are unavailable. Ryan Yarbrough will likely fill a slot in the rotation as well, though realistically, he is more of a supporting piece than someone expected to carry significant innings or dominate opposing lineups. This is why the offseason moves become not just an option, but a necessity. Bringing in a fifth starter like Tatsuya Amaya or Michael King is more than just filling a number. It's about creating balance, providing a safety net, and ensuring that the Yankees are not putting undue strain on the remaining rotation members. Without that depth, even a minor injury or poor performance could snowball into a major issue, affecting the team's competitiveness and putting added stress on the bullpen. The bullpen itself will be a critical factor early in the season, especially with the opening rotation stretched thin. Relievers will be asked to cover more innings, pitch under higher pressure, and maintain performance levels without burning out too quickly. This makes every acquisition and roster decision over the winter crucial, because the right addition could stabilize the rotation and give the Yankees the confidence to enter 2026 with a legitimate shot at competing from day one. While fans may be excited about potential signings, the reality is that it's not just about talent, but about timing and fit. The front office has to weigh options carefully, ensuring that anyone added to the staff can contribute immediately, especially given the long-term injuries already affecting the team. Depth matters more than ever when it comes to pitching, and the Yankees are at a crossroads where proactive decisions will determine not just early season success, but potentially the trajectory of the entire campaign. One of the challenges with this situation is managing expectations. Fans are used to seeing a dominant Yankees rotation, and the absence of Rodon and Cole early on will inevitably lead to questions about competitiveness. The team has the talent to overcome these gaps, but only if the right strategies are implemented and new acquisitions are integrated effectively. The importance of rest and recovery for pitchers cannot be overstated, especially after seeing what happened with Rodon in the playoffs. Ensuring that each player is at full strength when they return will maximize their impact and reduce the risk of setbacks. This also extends to monitoring workloads, strategically planning starts, and carefully balancing innings between starters and relievers. The goal is to build a rotation that can handle both the grind of the regular season and the high stakes of the playoffs. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Explosive rumors are shaking the baseball world as whispers circulate that the New York Yankees have made a shocking roster move that could change the dynamics of their season. Sources close to the team suggest that the Yankees have quietly signed a surprise reinforcement, sending shockwaves through fans and analysts alike. While details remain murky, insiders hint that the new addition could be a high-profile player whose arrival instantly boosts the team's lineup, leaving opponents scrambling to adjust their strategies. The buzz intensifies with word that this unexpected signing came hand-in-hand with the release of a longtime veteran. Speculation is rife about who was cut, and fans are already debating whether this veteran's departure signals a bold shift toward a younger, faster, and more aggressive roster, or if it's a calculated gamble designed to shake up team chemistry. Social media has exploded, with hashtags trending and forums buzzing as fans dissect every possible angle. Could this be the move that finally tips the Yankees into a dominant stretch, or might it backfire and stir unrest in the clubhouse? Sources suggest that front office insiders have been tight-lipped, fueling even more speculation. Some analysts argue that the Yankees are quietly positioning themselves for a deeper playoff push, using this high-profile signing as a strategic masterstroke. Others warn that the sudden departure of a seasoned veteran could create a void in leadership, leaving younger players to step up under the intense spotlight of New York's media scrutiny. Meanwhile, whispers from the locker room hint that reactions among teammates have been mixed. Some are reportedly excited about the fresh energy and potential impact of the new signee, while others are said to be nostalgic, and perhaps even resentful, about the veteran who has been a staple in the clubhouse for years. The combination of intrigue, secrecy, and the ever-present pressure of Yankee Stadium makes this one of the most talked-about moves in recent memory. As rumors continue to swirl, one thing is clear. The Yankees are sending a message that they're willing to take risks, shake up expectations, and pursue every possible edge. Fans are left in suspense, debating every possible outcome, and sports talk shows are already lighting up with analysis. Whether this daring maneuver proves to be genius or controversial, it has already succeeded in capturing the imagination of baseball lovers everywhere. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.